Everything was great when my husband and I first moved into the new apartment in Fresno. We were finally getting our life started. We just moved out of the in-laws, not saying I hated living there, but it was finally the real deal, living on your own, paying your own rent, buying your own food, and etc. I've always been the very independent type, so it was exciting to get that kind of freedom back. Anyways, our apartment was small. The door opens to a small square-shaped living room with a huge ocean view window. To the right is the kitchen with a small dining area. Once you enter the living room, straight ahead of you is a short hallway that leads to the bathroom and bedroom, one-bedroom apartment. The whole apartment flooring was a pale wood except the bathroom and kitchen, which was a floral tile. The window panes were painted red. The apartment was small but cozy and a good place to start off our life. Plus, I liked how the apartment was a little further away from the usual busy areas of Fresno, more towards the farm areas, outskirts. When we first moved in, my father-in-law came and did a cleansing in the apartment because he's a very traditional Hmong man, not saying that I'm not. For a matter of fact, I'm also very traditional, but I didn't think much of it because the apartments were pretty newly built, 2-3 years old. After my father-in-law left, my husband and I spent a couple hours digging through our boxes, but once I grew tired of not knowing what to put where, I told my husband to take me to the store to get some furniture to put things on. We left and went to the store for a good 4-5 hours. It was dark by the time we got back, so we showered and immediately went to bed, slept on the floor of course. The next morning my husband left early for work, so I decided to go move some of the boxes into the kitchen and dining area, so that when the delivery guys got there, I can just have them set up whatever we needed they to. But as I was moving the boxes around, I kept noticing long strands of hair on the ground and some in the boxes. It wasn't enough to be noticed right away, but as I moved more and more boxes, I realized that it was pretty much spread throughout. I knew for sure it wasn't mine because I actually had a short A-line cut during that time, and of course my husband had a clean cut. I didn't give it much thought because my sister-in-laws were helping us pack during the time we were moving out, and they both had pretty long, black hair, so I just thought it might have been theirs. Since we left the window open last night, we live on the second floor, the wind might have blown the hair everywhere. After I finally finished moving the boxes and swept the floor, I went into the bedroom to put away our blankets to make room for the bed when it arrived, but as I was folding the blankets, I also noticed long strands of hair around the bedroom, but mostly right around the corners of where we slept last night. Honestly, I was a little freaked out but decided to brush it off and just quickly sweep the room. Later that night when my husband came home, I brought up the subject to him, and he just shrugged it off and also suggested that it might have been his sister's, which somehow comforted me a little, and I just left it as is and left for work. I work night shifts. A couple days later, I got up around noon, because I work late. When my husband had already gone to work, I decided to finish unpacking and maybe go out to do a little grocery shopping. While I was cleaning and unpacking, I also noticed strands of long hair laying around the floor and furniture. This time there seemed to be more. I quickly went and checked the bedroom and also noticed the hair inside the bedroom again. Then I went and slowly checked around the corners of the hallway and kitchen but didn't notice any more hair than one or two. Finally I went into the bathroom, where my husband and I get ready in the morning, but there were only evidence of our own short hair. I even went as far as checking the bed and pillow for hair, because if our hair is falling out that much that it's filling the living room and bedroom, I kind of figured most should be on the pillows or bathroom. But once again I only found evidence of our short hair. It was only a strand or two. I tried not to think too much about it and quickly finished cleaning and mopping the whole apartment corner to corner, then left for work. By the time I got off work, I completely forgot about the events in the morning because I was exhausted from a long night of work and just wanted to get home and dive into bed and sleep. The whole apartment was dark when I opened the door to enter, indicating that my husband was probably asleep. So I decided not to turn on the lights to distract him. Instead, I turned the flashlight on my phone and guided my way towards the bedroom. I was planning to quickly grab some clothes, shower, and just get into bed, but as I opened the bedroom door, from the small amount of light coming through the window, I can make out the bump on the bed, my sleeping husband. But my eyes were quickly drawn to a silhouette of a woman standing beside him on the bed. The first thing that came to my mind was that he was cheating on me, so I quickly reached out and turned on the bedroom lights. I was ready to pounce on my husband, but right as the light came on, the silhouette figure suddenly disappeared right before my eyes. I felt a deep drop in my heart, and my body suddenly grew weak. Before I knew it, my knees started shaking uncontrollably. I knew what I was feeling, and it was pure terror. My husband quickly jumps out of bed like he was out of breath and looked up at me like he was surprised to see me. I don't know if he even noticed the fear on my face, but before I can say anything, he jumped out of bed and flew into my arms shouting, "Oh my God, thank you honey for waking me up. I was having the worst nightmare ever." I felt I couldn't move my body and like I was being sat on. What my husband said to me terrified me even more, but I decided not to say anything to him or scare him anymore, so I just quickly brushed the fear off and told him to go back to sleep. As I lay there in that bed that night, all I felt and heard was the pounding of horror in my heart. For sure, when those lights came on earlier, I believed that what I saw was a long-haired, pale female woman towering over my husband with her eyes rolled back and blue dead tongue hanging loosely at the side of her mouth.